friends. As this is a live stream, the exact nature of the game is always up in the air. But tonight's episode comes with possible content warnings for eyes, eye gore, mind control, abusive relationships, and familial death. Thank you and enjoy the episode. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Alterra, headquarters of the Mad Capitalist. I'm your host and Games Master for the evening, James Robertson, and joining me this evening, Mind Palace, Ben, playing Pizzazz, the Gnome Wizard.
Oh, yeah.
Mind Flare, Bob plays as Lanwar, the Firbolg Druid.
Hi.
Mind Mapping, Neil as Dion, the Half-Orc Ranger.
Hey.
And Mind the Gap, TR playing as Glack, the Kobold Cleric.
Hi.
Last time, our party followed their quarry, a Mind Flare, through a portal, but were seemingly shunted away from the exit to somewhere else entirely. A hidden room full of explosives. They traipsed around the base, exploring a crypt full of beholder remains, the kitchens, during which Glack poisoned some chili and fed it to a group of people to great and terrible effect, and an audience chamber full of very lifelike humanoid statues. Pizzazz realized this place could only be the base of the Buttercup Guild, a notorious underground criminal organization despite their name. They headed to find Bragg, locating an arena of sorts and seeing a hench armoured creature destroy an ancient gold dragon for the amusement of a 13-eyed beholder and a baying mob of ne'er-do-wells. They found Bragg's bodyguard, Mary, and escaped the arena after sicking a bunch of demons on the baying mob, and out to a slimy corridor full of Kuatoa. The party destroyed them quickly and headed into a lab of some kind where a dark elf was manacled to a chair. Suddenly, the Mind Flare appeared from a room full of sickly, greenish light, carrying and calling yet more intellect devourers with him. And that is where we pick up today. We have already rolled our initiative. So, up first, rolling a crit. It is Dion. Dion, this purplish but slightly waxy skinned, now you see him up close. He was always trying to sort of get away from you before. His skin is sort of this much paler purple than of the few intellect devourers you've met in your travels. It almost seems to be a sort of not quite rotted away, but parts of him definitely seem to be like scabbed over, like he's had some sort of disease in the past.
All right.
He's carrying in his hand an intellect devourer, which you can see is wearing some sort of metal hat. Some sort of armor plating. You can't be quite sure, and he emits this very high-pitched sort of shriek, like the kind they put over speakers outside shops to get youngsters to flee from them. You know the kinds.
Yeah.
A dog whistle, and you hear the sounds of sort of. Actually, intellect devourers don't have a language, so you hear like sort of muffled scraping and snarfling. Don't know if that's a word. I like it, but we're moving on. This intellect devourer, this Mind Flare rather, is right there with intellect devourer in hand, and you have the initiative, sir.
Didn't my disintegrate from last turn activate it?
You begin casting that spell, and that is what triggers the initiative. But unfortunately, he's not surprised because this is his lair. But that will occur on your turn essentially.
Okay.
In 3 people's times. So Dion, you have the initiative. What are you doing?
I'm gonna Hunter's Mark Nihiler and attack him.
Okay. Excellent. Go for it. Do you have anything that gives you advantage, or Glack, you're on deck, by the way, if you want to start thinking of what you're gonna do.
No.
Well, just start rolling, Neil. 30 definitely hits the guy. This is magical damage, right? Yeah, because the bow is
yeah.
madly magical.
What's the Mind's Flare classed as, James?
An aberration. Why?
Okay. Just in case it was one of my favoured enemies, I wasn't sure. But unfortunately, it's not.
No. Might want to think of that though. It's a good thought. But it does take 18 points of damage. Yeah, for sure.
I'll attack him again.
23 similarly hits, yeah, and he takes another 17 points of damage. Not bad. 35 points.
I try.
You succeed. As his first legendary action, he is going to use his Mind Blast. So that would be everyone within a 60-foot cone, which is all of you, need to make an intelligence saving throw, please. And Tink, this is Pizzazz. This is a
magical.
This is considered a scion technically, but that's considered magical. Okay, so so it's a save or sucks. So essentially, everyone succeeds but Dion, which is rather fitting actually, because he's very angry with you.
Why would that be?
Because you shot him.
2 arrows in him.
Not me.
Plus another 5, so you take 30 points of psychic damage and you are stunned.
Okay.
Everyone else, Glack just succeeded.
Ooh, lucky.
That is Dion's turn. It's the lair now, actually. But since what the hell's happened here? I don't know what's happened to my sheet.
Just fail or nothing then?
Yes, it is. It would be the lair, but I can't. I'll put it. I'll try and reload what just went wrong with my form here. But we'll skip back to it once Glack has had their go. So Glack, your initiative.
Okay, so bonus action, my astral arms and Adidas tracksuit pops out with my mask. And I'm going to leap over until I'm 10 foot away. And I'm just going to wail on him for a couple of hits.
Yeah, go for it.
First.
It's going to hit.
Yep. And then I will pump my once a turn 3 extra radiant damage in there.
Okay, so it takes 12 points of damage.
And the next one, 17, unfortunately.
He is going to use his reaction to shield that.
Okay, and then I'm going to back up a little bit.
Understandable.
Just in case.
As you back up, the Intellect Devourer would get an attack of opportunity, technically.
Their range is that long?
Oh, yeah, because you can stand 10 feet away.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I'm 10 foot with some huge oversized comedy arms.
Yes. Yes, you are. That's your turn, though, unless...
Yep.
Were you flurry of blows or anything else?
No, because I used my bonus action to pull up the arms and stuff.
Oh, of course. then the lair action would trigger, and it would create. So it would look at probably Pizzazz, who was the closest at the time, and a crackling cord of this dark necrotic energy, incidentally enough, Pizzazz, seemed to latch out from one of its tentacles on its face and latch onto you. So I need you, since the creature took damage, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
16.
That's not enough, I'm afraid. So you take, so it takes half the damage, rounded down. Yes. So you take 4 points of radiant damage. You seem to take half the damage that the Mind Flare did. Speaking of which, it is your turn. This cord, this tendril of negative energy, is just tethering you to Nihilar, or the creature you know to be Nihilar.
As I was like, "Ah, that's cute. Let me show you some real power."
Disintegrate. Constitution save, yeah?
No, just I think.
Dexterity save. Okay. Well, what's its dex mod? It's not a lot, I'll be honest.
You rolled so many ones. Wow.
It's got +3 to this, so it's a 14. So that's unfortunately not going to do it. However, it is resistant to necrotic. So it takes 33, or it would take 33. Pizzazz, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
It's force damage.
It's force.
Mm-hmm.
So it is. It would take all of this. Then Pizzazz, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please. Yeah, you feel the sort of backlash, the shockwave, reverberate back along this tendril and nearly strike you in the chest, but you just manage to hold your own against the power of your own spell, and you take no further damage from it. You see just chunks of the Mind Flare just sloughing away, and it's looking just horrible. It's the Intellect Devourer's turns. The one in its hand, he sort of strokes it and says, "Yes, do well." And he begins to eat it, or it sort of, yeah, he begins to eat it as he whistles for the other ones. And you, Dion, as the only one who can understand deep speech, you hear, "The kobold, it will survive. And the gnome, I am intrigued. The others you can feast. These will make excellent additions to the Master's Super Soldier program." So they're all gonna move 10, 15.
I would have relayed that to everybody else, but seeing as I'm
30,
stunned.
40. That one definitely gets to one more.
I don't think stun's gonna affect
10,
your
15.
headset.
30,
Stun just
40,
means you can't move.
10,
The
20, 30,
incapacitated won't be able to do it.
40.
I thought it'd be
10, 15,
too sort of out of it to
that one's gonna
say
dash.
anything.
And this one similarly will dash up to you. This one gets eaten, and so those two dashed. So we'll have 2 on Tink, I think. 2 on fucking hell, but two on Pizzazz. So 2 attacks on Pizzazz, both with +4 to hit. Wacha. A 16 apiece.
16 apiece. Let me just double check. I'm going to shield.
Okay, so both of the things bounce at you and just rebuff off your... What does your shield look like these days as you're getting more potent in the necrotic arts? Like a black shield of voidness?
Yeah, it just looks like a black shield. Any attack that hits it just kind of like gets absorbed. It's like anti-black sort of.
Excellent. This one grants the Illitherich more hit points by being devoured by it, but not a lot. 27 added on. He's looking much more healthier now, though, in fairness. We'll do the attack on Lanwar next, which is going to miss for unless 13. What's your AC?
No, you're not going to hit.
Yep. The 2 on Dion both have advantage. One rolls a natural 19, one rolls a natural 18, so those are both going to hit. And you're
Is this
only...
Nyler that's
No,
attacking
this
me?
is the intellect of ours.
Right.
So you're going to take 4d4 plus 4, which is 12 points of slashing damage as both their claws go in. And I need you, Dion, to make 2 intelligence saving throws. I need Bob to make 1, and I need Pizzazz to make 2.
That's the lowest I can get.
Explicit.
God damn.
Do you want to inspire this, Bob? How intelligent are you?
A 19.
Pizzazz, I need 2 from Pizzazz. This is a magical effect.
Do I have inspiration?
Everyone should, yeah. At
All
least
right.
1.
I'll use my inspiration.
Okay. And now these are slightly buffed, so... God damn! They all succeed. That's annoying. Well, your intellect isn't devoured and you don't become husks. Nyler, the Illitherich, seeing that your mage has already cast their spell... Oh, and gets his legendary actions back. Because he spent all 3 of them. He is going to... Yeah, he's going to return the favor, I think. So, Pizzazz, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. That's not going to do it, unless you have anything.
No. Well, I've got inspiration. I could try to list it out.
I mean, I'm going to roll the damage before you decide what you want to do.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. You take 75 points from this modified disintegrate spell.
Okay.
Are you
Still
down?
No, still up. Just.
Okay. Yeah, you watch as these 2 great mages, these 2 titans of their magical ability, just begin throwing these spells that just fluff great chunks off their forms, and it looks like a very, very pitched battle for the ages. Lanwar, it is your turn. You've got 2 intellect devourers on you. Only one of them had to dash up, obviously. 2 are on Tink, and 2 are on Pizzazz.
Okay.
I mean, do you want me to change everything as just so you don't call me?
No, I should.
Then James will start saying Pizzazz.
I should know it by now. audience, please, you understand, don't you?
Audience.
If any DMs out there are watching and you've had someone play as gnome siblings with very similar MOs, both wizardy types, please get in contact. You understand my pain. Lanwar, it's your turn. Pizzazz is looking very rough. The Mind Flayer also looks pretty bloodied, yeah, for sure. I mean, if blood was coming out of its wounds, which it isn't. It's sort of this thick necrotic darkness.
I'll be back in a minute.
Everything says pizzazz now. You can't get confused.
Wait, would I? Am I
so
still able to?
You're able to move. Currently, that chair is being occupied by a drow mage.
I would be able to, because as it's still within 5 feet of me diagonally.
Yes, currently. Yeah.
Because
yes,
I'm going to use Cure Wounds, which is a touch spell at 7th level.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, wow.
Okay, yeah.
So,
not fought Buttercup yet, or the big tank, but sure.
I just saw him take a huge chunking damaging hit, and so, and I'll say then, like, for he has friends, you know, and I'm not going to let him die here.
Inside your head, you hear, "No, but you will." Is that your turn?
I'm gonna use my let's see if I still have it. I'm gonna the bonus action. I will I will turn invisible and and will move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to there. I'm guessing with being invisible, I won't. Will they get an attack of opportunity if I'm invisible?
Interesting thought. You can sense the presence and location. So it does know where you are. Oh, that's it has blind sight. Yep.
Okay.
Sorry. So it's gonna attack you, both of them.
Okay.
Watch out. A dirty 20 probably hits.
Yeah, the 20 hits, but the
take 8 points of damage then, as just one of them claws you as you run past them.
Okay.
We'll assume you go via Glack. Glack's general area, so this one on Tink doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. Who wants to DM next week? Is that your turn, Bob?
Yeah. It's my turn now.
Cool. As a legendary action, since it has True Sight, which you don't know about, this creature is going to turn towards you, and with its extended tentacles, it is going to latch out at you and attempt to tentacle attack you.
Okay.
So that's to hit plus. So 22 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
And it's gonna roll. It's 3d10 plus 5. So 17 psychic damage. And you're grappled. Okay.
Okay.
Also, as it latches onto you, you feel just the psychic energy flood into your mind. Make me an intelligence saving throw.
Okay. Alright.
Shit, that's the DC. You lucky SOB.
You're attacking the one who has proficiency in intelligence.
You are luckily not stunned. But you are still grappled. So Glack, it is your turn. Tink looks very weak and is now surrounded. Oh, actually,
wasn't it Leon?
It should. Yeah, sorry. It should have been on initiative count 1. Actually, you watch as the dark elf, technically, since Drow's a subculture. You watch as the guy in the chair, as Nihilur points a hand, just this rotted hand, towards him. He starts to twitch and begins to scream. And you watch as something... So, Pizzazz, you're pretty close by. You watch as something on his cheek looks to be moving, like a lump. Something just sort of quivering slightly. And as you glance into his horrified-looking eye, you can see just what could be the tail of something moving across the iris as he blinks, and he just screams... Get her out! It's in my head! It's in my head! So
neat trick.
That thing ticks down. That thing ticks down to 1. Dion, it's your turn. You're currently stunned. I believe it's that was the mind blast, wasn't it? So at the end of your turn, I'm afraid you need to make another saving throw, another intelligence saving throw, please.
At the end or just now?
At the end of your turn, yeah.
So
well, Glack.
You can do a bonus action, can't you, while you're stunned? If you have something.
I don't think so.
Well, because it's actions and really reactions.
Bonus action.
Bonus.
Bonus action is an action. It's a bonus action.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much I can do. If it's
roll an intelligence save, please. You can't do anything but make the intelligence save.
Yeah.
Please. As we move on to Glack's turn, Glack. Well, Dion. Oh, yeah, look at that. As you're surrounded by these intelligence devourers, seeing Pizzazz be beaten, bloodied, surrounded by yet more of them, and Lanwar, you see the outline of Lanwar currently being enveloped and dragged towards the maw of this whitish, purplish skinned creature. Your feral sort of senses kick in, the senses of a hunter kick in, and you're able to shake off the stunned condition, and you sort of knock another couple of arrows on your bow, and you ready yourself. Now it's Glack.
Okay, I am going to run up the wall.
This room is about 30, 40 feet tall. There are torch brackets, sconces all along the place. It's like a vaulted ceiling, like a church.
Well, I can, as I'm running past 10 foot up, I'm just going to be king punching Nurlo over the top of the head. Just bang, bang, bang.
10 foot up. Okay.
Lanwar is threatening, so I would have advantage on these attacks.
He's not within 5 feet. I believe Pack Tactics is within 5 feet. Creature within 5 feet.
Fair enough, then I will just punch him in the top of the head normally.
Okay.
Just get slapped.
21.
21's going to hit.
With the extra 2 on top.
Yeah, It helps.
That's an 8.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to spend a key point for another 12 damage.
Okay.
And then one more for 14.
Yeah, it takes all of those.
I'm going to continue the run past, and this green liquid over here.
As you continue running past, one of his other tentacles, get back there, latches out at you, and he snarls, "Not this, not you too." So it's going to roll an attack against you with +12. A 21 to hit.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes.
Okay, 3d10 plus 5. 14 points of psychic damage. You are grappled, and I need you to make me an intelligence saving throw, please.
Okay.
You are also stunned.
So his tentacles go 10 feet up as well?
Yes, they are 10 foot. Yeah,
oh, wow,
they are sort of
long face.
They're 10-foot long tentacles. As they sort of shoot up towards you, you notice they have similarly been enhanced by a bit of, not quite clockwork, but you certainly see some sort of arcanite gems sort of embedded around his face, kind of like a beard. It looks like he's tinkered with his own physiology. I tell you what, as you suddenly find yourself falling off the wall, landing prone and taking 4 points of bludgeoning damage, not magical. Give me a quick perception check as you see along to the pool there.
Okay.
Since that was what your intent was, I believe.
Yep.
Yep. So with the last sort of consciousness in your mind, like fading as your brain begins to sort of seize up, Neil, can you stop moving glass? Whereabout?
It's not me, sorry.
Well, can you mute yourself then, please, while it's happening? Thank you. You can make out the waters. I say water. It's like almost a slime, and you can see trails of the bestial claw prints from the intellect devourers as they have charged out of this pool to get through to this room that you were all in. Still inside the pool, you see yet more sort of wriggling spawn, almost little tiny creatures like tadpoles almost. But as you fall towards the ground, you just make out one leap out of the top of the pool and back down. And these tadpoles have. You ever see Slither?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. They look like that.
Okay.
And you're prone currently. At the end of your turn, the Elithalich is going to. Ooh. Technically, he's incapacitated. So yeah, actually, that's a point. He's going to use his 2 remaining legendary actions to attempt to extract brain. It would probably be on Lanoir because he cares very little about him. An 18 to hit you.
Oh, 18. Yeah, 18 just hits.
Oh.
Okay. What's your health looking like, Bob?
Pretty good.
Yeah? Is it above 50? Just so I'm aware.
Yes.
Good. Because I don't want to be extracting your brain too easily. Take 56 points of piercing damage as he begins to reel you in. So you're now within 5 feet. He reels in your head, and as you fight against it, you just feel this intense pressure on the front of your skull as this beak, this hideous maw, begins to pierce into the sort of temple of your Firbolg head. And it's fucking incredibly painful.
Mm-hmm.
Pizzazz, you're surrounded by intellect devourers. 2 of your allies are currently grappled by the tentacles of the. What you reckon? Actually, roll me an Arcana check, since this is your wheelhouse.
Got it.
100%. You're sure that this mind flayer is undead somehow. It must be. It's a spellcaster of significant potency. It must be a lich of some description. Just for you. What are you doing? It looks to also like most mind flayers, similarly be drilling into Llanowar's skull.
Did Lan heal me on his turn? Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, I think you got 41 points off the top of my head, I believe.
Yeah, Q1's 41. Cool, thank you.
Did that get healed as well?
No.
No.
It's a touch.
You're not damaged. You're barely injured.
The two most damaged people are the one who took the disintegrate and the one who's standing right in front of him.
Yeah. This guy's some serious business, folks. His turn's coming. Oh, layer action. Never mind. I'll come back to it. Pizzazz, it is your turn.
Okay.
Things are looking dire.
Yeah.
Dion seems fine though. He's only got 2 intellect devourers on him. The Drow Mage looks bloody awful. I'll tell you that.
Didn't want to do that. I was looking at that spell. I wasn't actually wanting to do it.
In sword. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I don't want to do that though.
No, it's fine. Never heard of it.
Actually, is it just one attack? Yeah, it's just the one attack on it.
That Mordenkainen's sword?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know why it's just called Arcane Sword.
No idea.
Yeah, let's do Disintegrate.
Again? Oh, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
At a higher level? At 7th level?
7th level.
Okay. 85. Fucking hell. Dexterity save. He has magic resistance. Oh, a 22. That could well have saved his life. So 85 half.
42.
Oh, actually. 42. So he makes a Constitution saving throw. Which he has 12 plus. I believe it's a 10. Yeah. 22.
He keeps his concentration on whatever he's concentrating on.
No, it was so he takes that amount of damage, and the con save is to maintain life.
Okay.
So 85, 42. So it was a DC 21.
Yeah.
So yeah, he just manages to maintain his physical form. You watch as his sort of relentlessness kicks in, and he looks to be very much at death's door.
Pizzazz will shout, he's not looking good. Either kill him and find his phylactery, or just find his phylactery.
It's the intellect. Are you going to do anything else, Pizzazz? It's the intellect devourers now.
I can't do anything else.
Okay. Well, the intellect devourers. Tell you what, I'll be kind. That one runs up to there. We'll say that one runs on to Lan as well.
Yeah, like I need any more problems here.
And I'll try to take him out.
So Dion, a 21 to hit you. What's your AC?
Neil. Unmute.
I'll come back to that.
Yeah, it hits, sorry.
A 21 hits.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to take 2 hits, one of which is a crit. Pizzazz, you get 2, both of which miss. And Lan, you get the 1, which is a 21 to hit. So...
Yep.
So what am I taking, sorry?
You're taking, just give me a sec. It would be 2 hits, one of which is a crit, so you take 14 points of piercing damage. And Lan, both of them miss you, so Lan takes 2d4, which is 6 plus 2 is 8 points to Lan. And Dion, you need to make 3 intelligence saves. Pizzazz, 2, and Lanwar, 1. These are magical effects. Lanwar, you succeed. 2 successes for Pizzazz. Unfortunately, Dion, you failed one of them.
Thought I'd done 3.
No, yeah, you did 3.
Oh, right.
Unfortunately, you failed one of them.
You failed the first one.
Yeah, you failed the first one, and you're going to take another 10 points of psychic damage. And could you roll me 3d6, please?
Okay.
Just on the
yeah,
on the dice roller there. 9. What's your intelligence, Dion?
19.
19.
Yes.
What's it without the headband?
Without the headband.
Without the headband, yes.
Don't think it's too high.
Is it 8 or 9 or 10? That's why you got to keep note of it.
I'm just checking the.
We'll come back to that then in a second. It's Nihiler's turn. And what is he going to do? He's on 1 hit point.
Standing in front of a furbog, trying to use his brain.
I'm just an illitherate, an illitherate, standing before a furbog, asking them to eat their brain. Yeah, it would. Oh God, it depends how mean I want to be here. Yeah, it's going to attack you again, Bob.
Okay.
Sorry. Oh man. Luckily for you, the extract brain only rolls a 14 to hit.
Nope.
That doesn't hit, does it?
Nope.
So you watch as it goes in to pierce your skull one more time, and you just dodge out of the way. It is your turn.
Okay. Do I punch this thing in the face, or do I teleport away from him and mess with the pool?
Who knows? Only you. Tune in to find out, audience. and we're back. Bob, when last we left you?
Alright. Action. I'm gonna use Primal Savagery.
Yeah, called it. Go for it.
And
29 to hit.
And
Yeah, hits, man. Roll damage. No, not guiding bolt.
Ah! Why the fuck? Ah! Sorry, because it shifted over the thing.
Alright. Finish him.
Acid to the face.
Alright, yeah. So you, Pizzazz, you watch. Dion, you're a bit occupied. Pizzazz, you alone pretty much can see, since Glack is stunned, just these horns begin to grow off the top of Lanwar's face, And as he sort of charges forward, his claws extend as well. And like a set of scissors, he slashes through the Mind Flayer's tentacled face. And the tentacle's grasping you. Stay there. You've got a pretty cool beard and a wicked head wound as well. My God, it's a deep wound. But as you watch, the acid begins to bubble up the Mind Flayer's face, and as it reels back, screaming in pain, you watch as it points a finger at all of you and just says, "This is not the end. You will all die. Kill them all, my pet." He is engulfed in this acid, which begins to melt the flesh off his skull. And as the arcane magic overtakes him, he shrivels to the ground. All that's left, his robes, a wooden staff, his pockmarked skull, and a spellbook lying to one side. He has no legendary actions. On initiative count 1, however...
it's 18 without the headband.
Can I...
18 without the headband?
Yeah.
You don't really need a headband.
So you don't really need the headband, really, do you?
He just likes the style.
You're wasting...
I've never known a non-wizard so intelligent. My God.
You sure it's definitely that high?
Yeah,
you sure it's not 8?
Off.
On
D&D Beyond as well.
Yeah,
right.
I did it on D&D Beyond.
Okay. I believe you. I'm just.
Did you waste your time having that?
I'm just kind of shocked, really.
Is that an attunement slot?
You wasted an attunement slot. God's sake!
I'm pretty sure it used to be lower.
It's a well. It might be. Might it just be 8? Do you reckon?
Because it was 19. I took the headband off, and D&D Beyond saying it's 18.
Your intelligence.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Let's move on from that. Your intelligence doesn't drop to 0 because of the mind blasts. Which is good. On initiative count 1. Oh, sorry, Lamwar. You were having a bonus action.
Yeah, I was going to use some of my bamblets in my court to heal myself a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine. Just roll that, and it'll show up in the form. On initiative count 1, the Dark Elf screams and then goes quiet, and you hear a crunching sort of splat as Pizzazz, make a dex save, please.
No.
Yeah, as you just hear a crunching as his whole face nearly splits apart at the eye socket and launching itself. There was a content warning. Launching itself from the now discarded and gory mess that was an eye is this tiny. Well, it may have been tiny at one point. It is a bigger than a tarantula, but no legs. It's like this elongated slug that's about the length of a child's arm, we'll say, and it launches itself through the air and screeching as it goes, and it lands on you amidst all the blood and gore, and makes an attack. 15 plus. Where's my Ceramorph stat block? I think it's got +2. 17 to hit.
17 to hit. I'm getting a shield on that.
Is it 17? I need to bring up my new book. Ceramorph. Elias. +3, so an 18.
Yeah, I'm still shielding.
Shield. Okay. So yes, as it bites into you. Yeah. Or rather, it wraps its tentacles around you. Yeah. Oh, what's that? Yep. Yeah, this little sort of squid thing latches onto you and tries to bite into you. This illithid tadpole. But it misses. And Dion, it's your turn.
You're not joking about the 18. Why did we put an 18 for your intelligence? The headband does you no good.
Dion, it's your turn. We'll come back to this at the end of the session.
Right.
With Glack on deck, who is no longer stunned.
How are these 3 devourers looking?
They're on full health. None of the
Right,
devourers
okay.
have been touched.
Not attacked any of them. We've just battered the mind flayer.
Yeah, you really did. Very disappointed. My CR22 creature. I'm just going to try harder next time.
You try any harder, you're going to annihilate us.
Yeah.
I'm going to attack one of the 3 around me.
Mm-hmm. That's disadvantage, since you're attacking with a ranged weapon on creatures in melee.
Alright. With a lightning arrow.
Yeah, sure. Tell you what you could do. Tell you what you could do if you wished. You could skirt around there. You'd take an opportunity attack or 2, or if you wanted to skirt there, you take the 1. But you could definitely get all 3 of them with that 1 lightning arrow. You would take an opportunity attack, but you'd get all 3 of them. Do you want to go for that?
I'll do it from there. Yeah.
Cool. It misses.
I didn't do anything.
Can I ask a GM question? Since he's
yeah, go for it. What is it?
Since he's died, his hunter's mark, would that still track to wherever his body comes back to?
No.
Or is it so the hunter?
No, it was focused on that creature, and that creature is dead.
Okay.
So Dion, it misses you as you move. Roll your attack, whatever it is.
I'm just trying to find the damage that it got to roll.
Well, you have to hit first.
It's 48 lightning damage on a hit, or half as much on a miss. So make your ranged weapon attack. Wouldn't be with advantage, but a 26 hits. So
that might
target
still
takes
be on disadvantage.
Yeah,
I didn't
fine.
change it.
So as you fire your arrow, it turns into a bolt of lightning, which hits. So roll me 4d8 lightning damage. Okay. Well, that one's gone. These 2 make dex saves. 1 passing, 1 failing. That one dies. That one's actually, they're wearing the metal, so that one dies as well. As the lightning arcs off its body. You also need to make a dex save, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you're within 10 foot of the target. So whatever your spell DC is, not sure what it is.
I'm sure that's 6. Yeah, spell attack 6.
No.
Cool. So it's a DC 14 dex save, please, Dion. So you just succeed.
Oof.
And you take half as much on a successful one, so you'll take half of this. take 2 points of lightning damage as just the back shock from your own spell kicks in.
Yeah, I got some metal on me.
Yeah, no lair action. It is Glack. You're no longer stunned, Glack.
Okay, well, I'm going to get off the floor.
Go punching.
Yeah, move up to 10 feet of this guy. Just a little quick pop in the top of the head.
Yep. Hits.
Okay. And I will just... Oh, for God's sake. Never does anything good.
It's only a D8.
Yeah, still. Is it still alive?
Yes.
Then the second hit.
It dies.
Good. And I'll move up, spend a key point and pop this one twice.
Go for it.
Would I get advantage because Pizzazz is there?
You would, yes. Because of pack tactics, you little rascal.
Good. 16. And the second hit is a 28.
Yep, those both hit. It's still up. And it screams in pain, however, as Pizzazz, it is your turn.
Okay. Just having a look, see what I can do. So it's just the two left, yeah?
Yeah, there's just the two left, both within 5 feet of you. One's untouched, one's very badly beaten. Oh, and the tadpole on your skin trying to currently burrow in.
Okay, in that case,
which is, as you glance back at the dark elf, you reckon that if it burrows in, it might do that to you.
Yeah.
Oh, he's dead now, by the way.
Oh, yeah, that's a given.
Yeah.
In that case, I am going to magic missile the total.
The tadpole?
Yes.
Okay. How many bolts are you hitting it with?
All three.
All three? Yeah, go for it. Roll a d4. 4, 8, 12. That is actually enough to destroy it after the final one, in fact. So the first two impact into it, and you see it almost swaying on the spot as it tries desperately to burrow into your skin this one last time before the third one strikes it, and it screeches and explodes in a shower of purplish blood. Anything else?
Nah, that'll do me.
Alright, both the intellect divers are going to attack you for the final time. They both miss, and they know you're intelligent. So they're probably going to target Dion with their intelligence thing.
Oh, okay.
So we'll get one on Dion and one on Glack. Intelligence saves, please.
Okay.
They finally try to stop attacking.
Yeah, there we are.
I'm going to need you both to roll 3 dice as you both take 18 points of psychic damage. Okay, Dion, you're unaffected. Glack, what's your intelligence score?
13.
Okay, no, it's not. It is 0. So what happens as in the final throes of combat, the devourer just sort of turns its attention towards you like a pig snorting for truffles. Your intelligence score is reduced to 0, and you are stunned. Incapacitated. And you watch as both of the... What's that?
Oh, so I was just changing my intelligence score to 0. Yeah.
Yep. So you have a -5 to your intelligence checks. You watch, the rest of you watch in horror as the intellect devourers both move away, provoking an opportunity attack from Pizzazz if they wish, and running and jumping on Glack.
I try to give them a cuddle.
Yeah, as they go past the more wounded one, I'm going to do a fireball attack. Oh, actually, I'm going to do a thingy. Toll Dead.
On which one?
The more injured one.
The more injured one, okay. Wisdom save. It makes it, I'm afraid. It just sort of shrugs off. It senses its next host. That's the intellect of ours. Nihilar's gone. Lanoir. These creatures are sniffing around Glack's face. Glack, you fall. You wouldn't fall prone. You are stunned though. You're just sort of swaying on the spot, like punch drunk. Okay.
Would that work?
Well, read what conditions it can do for me, Bob. There.
Paralyzed.
Yeah, there's no dumb.
It need to be greater.
Yep. As you run and panic and heal. Any blindness, deafness, paralysis, or poison that's affecting you, Glack, you're cured of. Unfortunately, your intelligence score remains at 0.
Alright. Don't think I have anything as a wait. No, I have a bonus action. Which I'm gonna do.
Oh shit! No! He's escaping!
Yes! Hidden paths! I am gonna move 30 feet away from them with Glack.
Damn it! So as you put your hands on him,
nope!
you just feel the magic taking, but not seemingly affecting Glack in any way, and you just go, oh, sod this for a laugh, and you just bundle him up and like rip a hole behind you in the fabric of space-time, and you step through it, giving the intellect devourers the finger, and you you're 30 feet away. You can be up to there or over here by this door. I'll leave that up to you. But Dion, the thing's dead. Dion, it's your turn.
Door.
Since I move over to Glack and hand him my headband of intellect.
It would take an hour for him to attune.
Yeah. Also, he can't. So you're.
That was a joke.
As soon as you give it to him, he just puts it in his mouth.
Yeah. You move over. He begins chewing on this teething ring, and then you turn around and anything else. We'll say that's your movement and use object.
Start shooting these things, Dion.
Yes.
Cool. Roll for it. And then we'll Glack, you're stunned. You can only speak falteringly. You fail strength and dex saves. That hits. That guy dies. You just sort of sway. Anything you want to do, actually.
Me.
Glack.
Oh,
while
sorry.
You're Dion, you're shooting. That one hits. Second one.
Oh, there's not a lot I can do. I mean, this intelligence drain isn't a charm or a frightened effect, is it?
No, I'm afraid not. Your intelligence is literally 0.
Pizzazz, there's a book there. I say over the head comes as well.
Speaking of which, Pizzazz, it's your turn. There is one intellect devourer left, and it looks to be snorting through the air and gunning to run towards Glack. Just first level you're casting that at?
Yep.
Okay. Doesn't quite take it down. He's incapacitated. Yeah. Yeah, I'm afraid so. So it's going to rush over to. It's still got that amount of hit points, so it's going to 5, 5, 10, 15, 20. Gets into within 5 feet of Glack. And you watch it as it begins to shimmer a faintly bluish color. And so too does Glack's head. It's like in an anime show where just like the purplish blue lines appear above their head. And
so
Glack,
pretty.
And Glack, I need you to make an intelligence check, please.
Hey, you know what? With a -4, that isn't that bad.
Yeah. Holy shit. Oh, what's its modifier? It's +1. No! Oh, how did you manage that? It rolls a 9, and you just so describe as this thing runs towards you, and as it's about to teleport into your brain and inside your skull and consume your brain. How do you keep control of your body, of your will, of your force of mind? How do you keep control? And we'll see. The rest of the guys are just going to destroy it. How do you maintain control over yourself here?
Oh, it's not control over the self. Glack looks towards this floating little blue tentacle and just goes, "Oh, I've still got pocket chicken." Grabs some chicken from his pocket.
So you're more distracted by the chicken than you are of the brain, who just is like, "Hey man, I'm trying to take you over here." Yeah,
like chicken.
And the rest of you just
nope.
Grab. Yeah, you yeet the brain, you shoot it, you do all sorts. As the combat ends in a bizarre way, but at a terrible price. Nihilur may be dead, all his intellect devourers slain. The Dark Elf is dead, his face having burst open. He's now slumped over on himself, and there's an increasingly large patch of scarlet around the bottom of the chair. Glack has essentially been feeble-minded, near enough. There is still a pile of, you could call it loot. There's a thick spell book on top of a beside a mind flare skull, actually, lying on the ground. This door is open. This one over here is closed. As you sort of settle in the afterglow of what just happened, Mary, the Maragon, looks around and says, "Well, glad to see that in the past year you have been keeping up with your adventures. Your skill and prowess in battle is to be commended."
All Pizzazz is thinking is, well, everyone's dead. I've got a new book. My job here is done.
Glack is going to be wandering up this way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before you wander off, I'm going to use my level 5 spell scroll and cast Great Restoration on his brain.
Do it.
Come back here! Chasing after Glack, waving a scroll with me, going, I can fix this, I can fix this!
Glack just thinks this is a game now. Glenmore chasing him.
Oh,
run away.
Glack remembers that there is a pool and he's going to feed the fishies.
Yeah, Glack, you do remember friends as well. Even though you begin skipping merrily off with chicken in hand.
No.
Lanwar, you quickly follow.
You just get the Benny Hill music going on.
So Pizzazz, mark on your sheet Nihilur's spellbook.
So that's 2 books he's got.
Yeah. This one is infinitely better.
Cool.
Because it has higher level spells. and mark on Mind Flare Skull as well.
I'm gonna use, like I said, I'm gonna use my level 5 spell scroll to cast Greater Restoration on him.
Roll a dexterity check, the two of you, to see if you manage to grab him before he gets to the pool.
Oh,
please.
For God's sake. He's...
Oh.
Just! Oh my God!
Unfortunately, Lan,
by the scruff of the neck.
Unfortunately, that's a dex save. Do you have what's your dex check modifier?
Oh, good.
Is it +2?
My dex is +3.
It might just be the same. Yeah.
Your dex is still +3.
Yes,
okay.
It's still
I thought you might have had rings of protection or something.
No.
So yeah, Glack, as you're skipping towards the thing, suddenly Lanwar is like, "No!" You dive from the doorway and tackle him to the ground, and begin and heal, and so it was, and da 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 da. The spell scroll's engulfed by this greenish light, and Glack, you feel the worst hangover you've ever felt. It's your mouth is dry. It's like you've just done hot yoga in Bragg's gym for about 12 hours after devouring Bragg's weight in sandwiches from his restaurant. It's like you've gone from like a massive lunch to the most ridiculous workout session ever. Every bit of you feels just awful. And the Lanwar's lying on top of you. You remember looking into the brain of the eyes? Doesn't have eyes. You remember looking at a little brain and then just feeling your mind go blank. It was bliss.
Oh my God.
As you're lying there,
Does
sort of
Glack not
scuffling.
question why Lan's lying on top?
As you're lying there, scuffling at
We've
the
all
edge of
been
the
drunk
pool.
before. It's fine.
Dion, what are you getting up to?
I'm going to head up to the open door as well.
Okay, you all head up that way. Pizzazz was gathering the things. After a second, you managed to get there.
Can I do a quick Arcana check on the skull to see if it's a phylactery, seeing as I'm researching and I should know what that is?
Yeah, roll me an Arcana check.
Not advantage. 30.
There are arcane sigils etched into the forehead of the skull, which you can see is very, very alien in origin. It's not a phylactery that you can tell. Phylacteries generally have different arcane sigils on them, and aren't usually made up of the skulls of the creatures that they're of. The carving into this skull seems to be one more of abjuration than anything else. Abjuration and illusion.
Okay.
I'll say you can faintly make out. Yeah, it's a magic item, but you don't know of what kind.
Okay, I'll identify it later on. Cool, and then I'll start making my way into the room.
As you all sort of gather in this room, the two of you who were busying yourselves in the main hall, you hear a sort of a chomping, chewing sound, Dion, as you're last through the door, and you look back and you see the Maragon begin to cut loose the dark elf from where it's sitting. As you raise your eyebrow at it, it shrugs and says, "Dinner?
Do you want some?"
Look, I'm good, thank you.
More for me."
Knock
And
yourself out.
You just sort of leave it there. Oh, the feeling of Bragg, the master, the feeling of the master I felt earlier is coming from through this door. Once your friends are done in that room, you may wish to investigate
So
it.
it's behind the closed door.
Behind the closed door, yes.
Glack,
But as you all gather in here,
Glack, can we not play with the pool? It doesn't look very nice.
In fact, as you look into it, in fact, you can see it's some sort of swarming pool. Tadpoles of various sort of sizes and lengths, none as big as the one that latched onto you, Pizzazz, are just sort of swimming about this pool.
I would like. I would like to take out the chili I cooked up last session and chuck it into the pool.
Shit. I'm just gonna roll something here. That's actually quite high. So before you do that, Lanwar, you sort of stick out a hand and point down to the base of the pool, where you can see a small bubbling sort of black egg. Tink, as you glance at Pizzazz, as you glance over at that, you recognize the arcane sigils on that to be some sort of phylactery-like device. Okay. It is at the bottom of this 50-foot deep well.
Okay.
Can I say confirm it then?
I was going to fireballs it.
As both of your magics hit the surface of this fluid, there seems to be no effect.
In that case, I'm going to cast Mage Hand and touch the surface of the hand.
As you do, just a swarm of these tadpoles leap up at it and sort of they go through it. But if it was a hand, it would currently be getting ripped to shreds. Their tiny needle-like pincer teeth just tear through the air at it, and just this sort of high-pitched sort of squeaks and screeches that fill the air now. It's akin to quippers or piranhas that you've seen in your various sort of homeworlds.
If you want to keep that up for now, and I'm going to cast this on the surface of the... and cover it in a wall of fire. So it's not actually in the water, it's above the water.
Make me a spellcasting check, please.
What do I do for a spellcasting check?
It's wisdom plus proficiency. No, it's just wisdom, actually. That would be a spell attack.
I need to get my wisdom's a +5. +5.
21.
Yeah, you managed to sort of morph it around the magic cancelling liquid, and you after a while they stop swarming up to the surface, but you managed to get rid of, I'll say, a good third of them.
I don't think we're going to get rid of all of them, and
no, but we might be able to stick them to the side. Can I aim my dagger in and cast web to try and capture them all to the side?
As you cast the spell into the liquid, it seems to your webs just seem to pull apart, like just nothing at all, like actual regular old webs in acid. They just seem to melt as soon as they come into contact with the surface of this fluid.
And I don't have the energy for one of my powerful spells.
I could probably get down there and back. It's 60 foot down?
It was 50 foot down.
Oh, I can get down there and back within 6 seconds. But I don't know how good I'll be at the end.
I will prepare some healing, possibly keeping alive.
Or shall we just put this on the come back to it? I mean, I'm not really that great on this whole undead stuff.
Pizzazz, if his phylactery stays there for long, you say, would he come back anytime soon?
Would, especially with these tadpoles around.
So he will become a problem.
Yeah, we need to destroy the phylactery. Dion, would you be able to see if you can shoot it with an arrow?
I shall attempt.
Before you do that, let's tie a bit of string to the arrows to pull up. It's not just shout.
Are you literally tying something to your mic to simulate the sound of string being tied?
No.
Your mic's being a bit weird tonight.
It was crackling there.
It might be rubbing up against my beard.
Well, yeah, you're weird. Pizzazz and Lanoir, roll me an intelligence check.
Okay.
Oh, that's shit.
It doesn't occur to Pizzazz, but Lan, it seems like these things are activated by stuff touching the water. If you could find like bait, maybe something bigger than Glack's pocket chicken, you might be able to coax them away so that Glack can have a clear sort of swim down. If there was if you've got any like chunks of meat on you or anything.
We can chuck the Megagon in.
I was going to say, do you not have that tentacle?
What about our dear unfortunate friend?
I go through try and stop the Mary. I want to see how far he's got with devouring the body.
That's not great for you. There's only a leg and we'll say a hand left.
Can we have the leg and the
Still
hand?
Still a decent size.
Why?
We're trying to distract some nasty little critters so we can get rid of a phylactery.
I suppose I don't want to pig out. Yes, take them. Take it, he would say. Take it. Take it.
Okay, I'll take the hand and...
As you take the hand, suddenly... No.
Becomes Vecna's hand.
Yes. You feel an overwhelming urge to cut off your own... No.
You
gouge
need a
out your
chainsaw.
eye. No. Yeah, you've got a large, quite fairly muscular bit of flesh.
Okay, so if you chuck that in that side, I'll hop in, swim, grab. Just a question. If I grab it in my hands, is it going to turn me into a squid face?
Hopefully
Who are
not.
you asking?
I'm asking probably pizzazz.
Yeah, hopefully not.
You are
What
aware,
about-
pizzazz. You are aware, pizzazz, that a lot of liches go to extraordinary lengths to conceal their phylacteries in traps, behind monsters. The fact that this one had his one so close at hand showed that he was either extraordinarily arrogant, or perhaps he just didn't wish to travel very far to regain himself, if he should ever be defeated. But it makes sense that all these creatures in there, and maybe the liquid itself, is a trap. And even then, the thing is 50 foot away. You can't be entirely certain what it is at this distance. You're fairly certain at this distance that it is a phylactery type object, or certainly of the size, and the inscriptions on them, what you can make out anyway, look to be phylactery-esque in your research.
What if I tie the rope to my arrow and plunge the arrow into the leg and fire it in?
Like a fishing rod. That might work.
Yeah.
With the intent to sort of lure the creatures away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd let you do that. Easy enough. You sort of stick a couple of arrows in to secure it, tie the rope a couple times around it, and you're ready to lower the leg in. We'll say its boot got taken off first.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Just a flat roll with my bow.
Just a what now?
Flat roll with my bow. I said it wrong there. Sorry.
Oh, no, this would just be... You just do this. You're just
Oh,
fishing,
right,
basically.
Okay.
Yeah, you sort of smear it. Are you going to smear it with the chili from earlier, or what? Or are you just going to...
Actually, I'll drizzle the chili on rather than like smearing it on with my hand.
Okay,
just to be on the
that's
safe
fine.
side.
Damn it! I was going to ask you for a sleight of hand. Yeah, sleight of hand to not get some of this chili on your skin, please. I'm treating it as a corrosive. Yeah,
I know it burns.
It'll burn a lot more coming out. I'll tell you that.
If it ever comes out again.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Sure
you void your bowels
at some
when you
point.
die, yeah. Well, since you void yourself when you die.
Yeah, would it make the soul shards look more red?
Dion, sleight of hand check, please, to not get on your skin.
I mean, how spicy is it?
Well, it killed a dozen people.
Yeah, but wasn't there rat poison in with that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You don't know what that red spice was. You didn't roll a nature check well enough. Still waiting on sleight of hand, Neil. Oof. No, you accidentally spilled some.
Damn it.
It's not the full whack, though. You only take 7 points of fire damage. But you go to suck your thumb and get it off, and then you're like, "Ooh, no!" No, you wipe it on like the corpse, and you watch as its leg. Oh yeah, your intelligence will be back to normal, by the way, Glack.
Oh, thank God. Changing it back.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
You go to lick it off your hand to get it off your skin, and then you realize, nope, and you sort of wipe it on the leg, the trousers of the dark elf, and you make ready to lure it in. Is there like a sequence of events, or are you just luring it and hoping to catch as many of them as you can?
Just basically luring it in and
when we see
trying to get
to head across
as many as...
Yeah.
Well, I'll drop the hand at another
side.
Oh,
shit. Those are incredibly good rolls for you. So yeah, you watch. You're dropping the hand elsewhere, Bob.
Well, at the same, further away from Glack, but at a different point, probably.
Okay.
A different place in the pool.
So to distract as many as possible.
Yeah, to confuse them as well, so that they're drawn to different places. So yeah, you chuck the hand in immediately. Like 10 of them go for it and quickly devour it right down to the bones and all. And then Dion, that's where you sort of splash the leg in, and as some of this liquid gets out, it lands on your boot, and you can just smell. It's like it's just burning away your boot, but only like a drop or two get on it. You just feel and smell the sizzling. Very quickly, however, 25 of these creatures swarm the leg, tearing bits off it. And with that nat 20 that I just rolled, it's an incredibly good fate roll for you. They all just begin try you ever see a watermelon get hit by like a shotgun or a sledgehammer? They start doing that.
Yeah.
It's like you watch as little they first begin to sort of swell up to like twice their normal size, and then
Pop.
pop, 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 ploof. Just and the water begins to turn this shade of green to this vile sort of mauve color, and you don't see the bottom anymore. But you don't see any movement anymore either, which is what you wanted, I guess. You've killed all the creatures in this area.
It's wanted, but it's also slightly disconcerting.
Mm-hmm. Can I dip my finger in to see if the water's going to hurt me?
Like, no.
Yeah, you take 7 points of acid damage.
Okay.
Just as you dip, you dip a hand in. It's just immediately. It's you
The
peel
hand
back.
it's the end of a finger you dip in, not a hand.
All right, okay. Well then take 4 points instead.
That'd be funny if it was higher.
So bang an entire hand in, like
Yeah.
just a test, the entire hand.
Oh God, why do I feel like it's gonna have to be me? Why do I feel like it's gonna have to be me now?
Why do you think it's gonna have to be you?
Because I can use absorb elements and basically make myself immune to acid for a bit, I think, is it not?
Or wild shape. Protection from energy would do the same thing as well.
Does anyone know how to cast protection from energy?
Or if
No.
you can become an acidic beast
Yeah.
with your wild shape.
Yeah, but that cancels out magic as soon as I touch it, so the wild shape would instantly drop.
Maybe.
But it's not technically magic, though.
Alright, I'm gonna see if I've got a summon speed creature.
Yeah, check to see if you've got something that would work.
Or at the
If
very
not,
least, something
then-
with lots of hit points.
I jump in and I could get in and out within a round.
You have a swim speed.
I've got swim speed of 60.
Do you? Excellent.
Yeah.
So yeah, you
I'm actually
definitely
technically I'm quicker in the water than I am on land.
outstanding.
Okay, I'll just prepare myself if things look like are gonna go wrong for him. I've still got my hidden path to get him out.
Okay.
I would probably take a potion or something on the way back, but okay.
Are you
I'll make
doing
sure
anything?
I've got a bag just to stick the phylactery in. I've got my crowbar in my hand to wedge it out to knock it into the bag.
Yep. Are you doing anything to prepare, like absorb elements or not absorb protection from energy acid or?
I do not have any of that. I'm just doing some deep lunges just to stretch it
Okay.
out.
Anyone else wish to do anything? Maybe heal Glack before he jumps into the acid bath?
I've not got any buff spells.
I'll use a 3rd level cure wounds. There's another 13 points of health.
I'm at 67 now, so that should be fine.
Maybe.
Okay.
Suddenly, right before
This
you
needs
jump
to be
in,
done. I run and jump.
right as you're going to jump in, Pizzazz suddenly recalls the skull that he picked up that was engraved with abjuration and illusory magics.
Wait! Before you do that,
Teetering on the edge, you're just like,
like
No,
just
no, no,
running
no, no,
around
no.
the entire outer circle, like what?
Yeah.
I've got the skull. Put it on your head.
I mean, that seems deeply inappropriate.
Maybe. Just do it.
Okay, but if I turn into a weird tentacle creature, you must buy me a drink. And I put the skull on my head.
And you turn into a weird tentacle.
Wait, before I do that, I take off my sunglasses, I put the skull on, and I put the sunglasses over the skull.
Jesus Christ. That's actually metal as fuck. You do that. You're a little dragon creature wearing robes and a tracksuit, wearing a mind flare skull that's wearing sunglasses, solid gold sunglasses. I want
All I'm
fan art.
imagining is like a Cubone wearing sunglasses now.
Yeah,
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
It's like a cross between a Cubone and the Squirtle Squad.
Yeah.
I'm holding a crowbar, ready to go.
Yep, he's holding a crowbar as well. It's like the shittest Indiana Jones ever. All right, okay.
I don't know if that's going to do anything, but
so yeah, no, you dive in to the pool of acid. You're gonna take some acid damage as soon as you dive in. That's actually quite a lot. You take 36 points of acid damage.
Yeah.
As you swim down, and you're finding the going tough. As this isn't water, you're not used to swimming through basically a well of acid. Luckily, none of those creatures are here to rip shreds out of you. But you make it so your swim speed, it counts as difficult terrain unless you're not thingamajiggered by that, are you?
I don't know, because at a certain point monks aren't. I'm not sure if it's now.
We'll say then that it's difficult terrain until we learn otherwise.
Yeah, I think it is.
Probably won't matter because you're dashing anyway. You make it to, so it's 60 feet, 50 feet down, 30-foot swim. So you'd need to dash there to get there at this turn, and you swim back up 10 feet as you crowbar and pry the phylactery off the ground and into your bag. You feel just this wave of necrotic energy flow over you, but it seems to be absorbed by the skull. It seems to this black smoke flies into the skull's eye sockets and doesn't seem to affect you. But the water swirls about you, completely black for but a moment, as you scoop the phylactery into your backpack. You get 10 feet back up. Are you using a key point to dash?
Stepping off the wind. I'm shooting out.
Which you dash another 30 feet, I believe. So you're 10 feet from the top. 50 down, so 30, 40, 50, 60 back, 10 foot back up. So yeah, you're 10 foot from the surface. So you would take that damage again. At the start, unless anyone wishes to do anything else.
Did we tie a rope around him to pull him out if anything goes wrong?
We'll say. I tell you what, we'll say yes, so that Glack survives his arc. That as he dashes back up and is 10 foot away, you all just heave ho and just yank him back up through the water, the acid rather, and he collapses in a heap. You're still covered in acid, so you'll take as you splouch out of there, you'll take a final.
I was going to say I'll prestidigitation the acid off him.
Then yeah, that's fine. The other two can pull Dion's fairly strong, and Lanoir, while not strong in the least bit, makes it look like he's helping.
Lan was
'Cause-
just shouting words of encouragement.
Yeah, multi-hint Bard. Next turn, I would say, Lanoir. And yeah,
Or just get the belt of strength off of him.
Yeah, you don't take the 10 points of acid damage then. Pizzazz sort of wipes you down. And yes, you've solved my phylactery acid pit trap.
Did the skull on his head actually do anything, or?
Roll me an Arcana check, actually.
Well, I say it turned the water black.
As since you were watching, it looked to protect him from, like, when he was touching the phylactery, when he was grabbing it, it looked like some sort of spell trap discharged. Excuse me. And it seemed to be absorbed by the skull.
Okay, cool. At least it did something.
Yeah.
I'm guessing terrain's not the Underdark, is it, James?
No, I'm afraid not. It's still urban city. Sewers, technically.
How are you feeling, Glack?
Fair enough, cheers.
I'm feeling, I'd say, about a third of my health.
Okay.
I'm just going to... I've got one spell slot left, but I don't want to use it in case it comes in, because there's still things to do.
I'll toss you a couple of my health potions.
How's everyone
you.
else feeling?
Not bad.
If I were to give you a number, I would say 60 out of 93.
Screw this.
It's like pretty good. Since I tried to disintegrate you.
Everyone.
To be honest, that's after the 41 putting me back up again.
I tap my staff of healing, and everyone regains 21 health points.
Oh, that feels better. Thank you very
feels
much.
so much better. Oh, what potions are these?
Just standard ones.
Greater healing or?
No, just common health potions.
Okay.
As you say all this, your Maragon friend sort of rounds the corner, slurping up the last of the intestines of the Dark Elf, and says, "Well, are we ready to press on? You all look awful, by the way."
You suck. Where were you?
I was doing as I was commanded by the master. I was staying
Shit or
out of the
nothing.
way.
Ah, good.
If you'd like, I can heal you.
That would be nice.
Very well. Step this way. And you watch as he sort of kneels and sort of puts his hand together as if praying. And Glack, you and you alone recognize this religious sort of sermon as the sort of oath of Bragg's gym, of critical fit. And he's sort of repeating it over and over. Thine be the what was it? I had it earlier. Thine be the punch bags, the locker room, and the glory holes in the bathroom forever and ever. Amen. And essentially, sort of summoning over his head is a spectral visage of Bragg, and he's casting a 5th level. No, actually, it's level 5. It would be a 3rd level healing spirit, which essentially you can conga through.
Yep.
It's 3rd level, so it'd be 10. And no, wait, die 6. It's 3 per round. 3 times 10 is 30. There we go. That is his big spell, though.
Okay. 113
Health back.
each.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're all
I'm
back to
afraid I can do nothing about the spell energy you have lost. Have you considered devouring soul shards? What's so funny? It's how I gained my power. I ate many. Never mind.
I heard they're very tasty.
Druids, especially. He begins eyeing up Lanwar. Yes. Druids, especially. Lan, yes, you recognize this as a druid spell. This Maragon does not appear to be a druid of any sort.
This druid is friends with all these people here and your current master. I would appreciate it. You don't eat me.
Oh no, you would taste awful. You're all bone and fibers.
Have you got something against furbolgs, do you?
They get caught in my teeth. But the master is near at hand.
Should we? Yeah, let's go try through Bragg's mind or soul, whatever it is.
Can we check for traps? I don't want to.
Yes.
Yeah.
And maybe listen out for any further. I'd rather not get into a fight right now.
No. That would not be good.
I mean, if we can do a short rest, I can get at least a couple of spells back.
Mm.
I have no issue with this.
But let us make our way to the door and see if we can. I will say I have one potion left just in case someone does end up in a bit of a problem.
Pickle?
Yes, I have one superior potion left to use.
And I've still got a few cure wound scrolls as well.
And
As do I. The master always makes me carry them.
That's good.
I'm not surprised. He ends up in the middle of a lot of things half the time. Make our way down.
Pizzazz, that's just the stuff for the skull itself, since you're going to identify it later anyway.
Okay.
Just for your notes and whatnot. Because I'll end up forgetting. As you make your way down here, you find there are no traps on this door. It is also not locked. You make your way inside, and you see a strange sight. It's not exactly a clinical room, but it has been well sort of scrubbed and washed. In the center of the floor, there are three, well, not tanks or pods exactly, but it's almost like, the best way I can describe it is the Animus from Assassin's Creed.
Uh-huh. Which one, the games or the film? Because the one in the film wasn't there.
Not the one in the film. Do you even hear what you're asking? No, it looks like some sort of machine. Plugged into one, there is a high elf of some description. Plugged into one of the others is a. Let me check my note here. Sorry. A high elf. Where is it? I had it written down here. I can't remember what the second one was, and I'm not going to make it up. But plugged into the third one, this one here that's actually nearest you, is a familiar-looking teal-skinned half-orc. So sort of where they're, instead of the sort of facial plates, the glass that sort of goes over the fronts of the faces, it's Assassin's Creed 1 territory. It's like their heads are sort of inside this oozing. a bit like the greenish liquid you saw earlier, but slightly more transparent and see-through. They look to be breathing it in. Their hands are sort of plugged into what look to be little devices, little sort of gloves, which are twitching as their hand movements and their eye movements are sort of. It looks like they're manipulating avatars almost. It's that sort of thing. It's very kind of Total Recall, Assassin's Creed-esque, is what you're getting from here. Who here has been inside an ooze matrix? Which of your characters? I know we all have been, but which of your characters have been in an ooze matrix?
It was Peace.
Yeah, that's why I was asking.
Unless Pizzazz did some went to like the Blitz and Chits in his year off.
I mean, probably. Pizzazz, you're arcanically minded anyway, so yeah, these look like, to your mind, almost back alley ooze matrices. They're definitely not the sort of hoity-toity fancy ones you would get at not Adventurers Retreat, Brightside Towers, and certainly not the ones you would get at Zytec or the Megacorps that specialize in interactive entertainment. But they look more like knockoffs, bits that have just been sort of cobbled together from older models, but they've sort of been buffed and shined. It looks like artificers have certainly created a web of an interweb, really. There are panels beside each patient, if you like, which is written in a language only Dion can understand. It's written in the language of the Mind Flayer you just met and destroyed. And one is noted as Specimen B. Specimen S is another one, and the High Elf is Specimen L.
Is there a big red friendly button?
There is not a big red button.
Is there a big red lever on the wall?
No, but there is just it sort of coming out of the middle, almost Inception device, like there are more wires. It looks like at some point these were added so that people could go into and view the subject's ooze dream, if you like.
A maintenance sort of thing.
Yeah, like a spyware of some description as well. It is the master, Mary says to you. But he's in the deepest sleep. There are buttons and dials all along the animi.
I'll go into the center thing.
Well, the cables come out past each of you.
Shall we start poking stuff?
I'm gonna see what he's seeing inside there. Being the most perceptive person I can.
Okay.
And wise.
Yeah, there's like a small helmet that you can affix to your head, and then there's like a small switch that you can just press. Yeah.
Do you want a perception check to see what I can glean from inside?
So you're going in essentially.
Yeah. I want to see if I can glean what is actually going on to him.
So yes, you all watch as Lan sort of stands there not knowing what's going to happen, puts the helmet on their head, flicks a button on the side of it, and collapses to the ground.
Somehow Pizzazz has got popcorn.
Prestidigitation.
Lanwar, you reappear in a village of some sort. None of your allies are with you. You don't see Bragg anywhere. You don't see... You see a number of people sort of moving to and forth. Mostly half-orcs, mostly tribal people of sorts. Fighters, generally hench sort of people, strong-looking folks. You're sort of standing on the edge of this village, which is ringed on all sides by, carved spikes which are driven into the earth. There are fires lit all around. It looks to be a party is going on, so you're currently going unnoticed. Towards the top of this hill over here, there is a very large tent that looks to be a command tent, or it would rank as a palace compared with all the other tents that are around about it. And you hear roaring of laughter and the smell of cooking food, and yeah, it's like post battle. There's a post battle feeling.
Can I do
Now you may roll your perception. Yeah. Yeah. As I said, you don't see Bragg anywhere. You do see someone who looks a little like him, maybe 5, 6, 7 years younger, possibly. It's difficult to tell with Bragg because he's only a teenager. You don't reckon he's older than 14 or 15 yet, based on the fact that his beard hasn't fully come in yet. He's got sort of that high school fine sort of
Just
hair
fuzz
on the upper lip and fuzz on the chin. Definitely early teens at the oldest. And he is sort of, you hear him say, "Ha ha! We certainly gave those boys what for today, didn't we, pals?" And the other sort of orcs and humans and a few Goliaths sort of mulling about are going, "Ah!" Just sort of generally, fighting sort of sounds, post-battle enjoyment. There's lots of ale on tap. My mother tells me that today's victory will go down in history amongst our people. Never again will the northern tribes rise up against us. It looks like he's trying to sort of take command of the situation. You're off nearby. It would be in the...
Does it sound like him in any way, shape, or form?
Oh yeah, it sounds like a younger Bragg. Younger than you've ever known him.
I think I know what's going on here, but I'm not sure.
And so, chaps, tonight, we feast. Tomorrow, we return home once and for all. Cheers! He raises a massive drinking horn that's about the size of Pizzazz and downs it, and sort of receives his speech finished. He receives a sort of claps on the back and cheers and, "Oh, well done, Master Bragg, well done," sort of thing. And he's, thank you. Yes, I do try. Now, if you'll excuse me, and makes his way off towards the north, towards the big command tent. We're just going to, as you sort of lurk in the shadows there, waiting, skip back to the present day. Is anyone else wishing to do anything? Lanwar has been gone now for about half an hour.
I was going to have a look round the place.
Yeah. You and the Maragon are sort of looking around, making the place secure. Because you are very aware you're in a base. You begin to pile sort of furniture, the sparse furniture that's left against this door, making sure it's locked. You pull the lever and you just make sure the place is secure, Dion. Glack?
Glack has drawn a mustache on Anwar.
Outstanding. Half an hour in, it's the perfect mustache. You've added all sorts as well. There's freckles, there's bigger, fuzzier eyebrows.
Like, it's a Salvador Dali kind of twirly one up his cheeks.
Amazing, I love it.
Because that's the big egg in
Yeah. Anyone doing anything else? Exploring the room? Doing anything with the other sort of headbands? There are like 5 or 6.
Pizzazzaby just flicking through the spell books you've got.
Yeah. You notice spells like Globe of Invulnerability, Finger of Death is another one that's in there.
Every now and then, whenever he comes across a nice-looking spell, you just hear him giggle.
Yeah, there are a few good ones. But none of you are sort of strapping on another helmet.
No.
Yeah, we probably give Lan a touch more time.
That's fine.
Maybe taking this opportunity to take a short rest, though.
Yeah. It's been half an hour already. Very quickly, you do gain a short rest. So if you want to mark that on, Lanmore, you don't gain one. We flip back to the village. What are you doing? You're in a war camp of some sort of tribe. Bragg is here. Looks younger than you've ever seen him. There are various hench people all around. You don't see a landscape that you recognize at all. This is not Sigil. Wherever it is not Sigil.
I wanna do an insight check to see if they actually notice me. Like, do I see any body language or anything, or eyes?
With that insight, with that insight, you reckon that the ones who do see you pay you no mind. Like, you're already in the middle of their camp, so and most of them are sort of like, okay, they're kind of half out of it. So the few that would challenge you are getting drunk. Bragg disappears towards this much larger sort of tent up towards the north.
I will follow up that way.
Yeah, very easily you sort of stealthily, socially make your way through the camp. And you sort of arrive at the door and you hear, Mother, what's... Bragg, don't be scared. You remember what I told you, yes? Yes, of course, but why? Who? It'll be all right. It'll be all right, dear. Mother, please, no, I can't. Just tell me who did this. And there's no reply. As you poke your head in, you see an elvish woman, high elf woman, on the ground, covered in blood. Young Bragg is kneeling by her side. There is no one else in the room. There is a large bed nearby. That is, the hangings have been sort of torn open. There's a blood smear on the bed's sort of furs, and is smeared. It looks like she's dragged herself, or someone has dragged her out of the bed. There is a hole sort of torn open in the back wall of the tent as well. Bragg does not notice you. What are you doing?
Spare the dying.
It has no effect. And you've drawn attention to yourself. Bragg turns and sees you and says, "Who are you? Get out! Guards!
It's not
Guards!
working." I'm just thinking to myself, does it even look like my magic worked there?
Oh, it did work. It had no effect because they're not dying, they're dead. Very quickly, you hear stomping sounds from behind you, An alarm is quickly raised. You look all around. Anything you'd like to do? You've been spotted by Bragg.
Maybe unplug yourself.
Do I feel like there's a helmet there or anything there to actually undo what's happening to me now?
No.
Okay.
Is it possible for land to still communicate with us?
No. You go to try and contact your people through the headsets, and there is no effect. There's just like a static.
Then Bragg? I say his name. Are you Bragg? Braggadocious.
How dare you speak to me after you've slain my mother? Guards,
I
seize
tried
him.
to stop her dying. It didn't work.
I despise you magicians. Take him immediately to the fire.
Wild shape.
Into
Eagle and take off.
all right, yeah.
See, now you just make yourself look really guilty.
Yeah. Does he change shape with us?
No, but his sort of hands do twitch, and as you're sort of midway through your short rest, you hear a caca, and you sort of glance over this room that's been silent. Glack and Pizzazz just sort of playing Go Fish. You're just like, got any threes? Go Fish. Suddenly there's a nearby, and you just look around at Lan.
Do I still use
It's been about an hour at this point. Lan, it's been barely 10 minutes for you, just so you're aware.
So Dex.
You use your wild shape, and you go to fly away, and as you hear from below, you sort of glance back. Actually, you hear muffled cries. Roll me an insight check at this, please.
Okay.
They sound like Bragg's cries, but not past Bragg. They sound like the Bragg as you know them.
Okay.
They sound much more, much older, deeper sort of sobs.
Do they sound like they're coming from where I left them, or from somewhere else?
They sound like they're coming from sort of all around. And as you begin to fly off into the night, and this sort of sounds of sobbing begin to overtake your ears, the sky darkens into just blackness, and you hear a high sort of cold laugh. And as a crack of thunder rumbles throughout this vision, you find yourself flying in the morning sun. The camp down below, you blink and you're flying in the morning sun. The camp down below is fine. There's no fires lit. It looks like they're prepping for some sort of battle.
I'm looking to see if I see that same young-looking Bragg.
Yeah, that's not what I expected to happen.
As you look around, you see young-looking Bragg isn't about, but it's still quite early. You do hear the sound of his laughter, though, coming from this tent here.
Wait, actually, that would be an advantage because I've got advantage whilst I'm an eagle.
Oh yeah, go for it.
So I'll just roll again.
Don't forget you'd be rolling the eagle stats rather than your own.
No, you keep your own wisdom and intelligence.
Alright.
An eagle stat. Go for it. Yeah, you hear his voice coming from this tent here. You sort of flap down and you sort of land nearby, and you hear ladies, please, there's enough of me to go around. Please. Oh, and you there. What was that thing you did with your talons? Because My gods, that I feel particularly well rested for this battle today. As you sort of like, there's a cut on the outer taint, and you sort of peek in. You see young-looking Bragg, with a few people. In fact, just bringing up my notes. Yes, you see what looks to be two incredibly handsome looking women. One that looks to be a young kind of androgynous, more male-esque sort of creature. But you, as a druid, would recognize it as a dryad, and you see a bronze dragon born, who are all just sort of lying in a heap with Bragg. We're going to skip back to the others. It's been about an hour now, and Lanwar has not woken up. You've all had the benefits of a short rest, and you flick through the books. You've still not been discovered. You do still hear the sounds of fighting coming from the base, but it's sort of slowing down now. You're in an incredibly well-defended room. Mary sort of asks you, should we perhaps go in and make sure Master Lanwar is okay?
Or should we pull the plug on Lanwar and find out?
I have experienced an ooze matrix but once before. If you pull the plug on someone, their consciousness is trapped within the system and they die. They become like a ghost in the machine, unable to escape whatever's going on, the simulation within.
Then how does one leave?
I assume by beating the game. That is how we won previously. It was a simulation of early Brightside Industries. We had to destroy Brightside at his own game. Of course, that was last year.
Okay.
But I'm afraid unplugging them while they're in there is well, it is possible, but they would be lost. And I'm afraid Master Lanwar is a part of it now. And my life is indebted to the Master. I will not allow you to pull the plug on him.
So, shall we go in then? Try and beat
It
the game?
looks like that's the only way.
I shall wait out here. Someone needs to defend you all. My powers are considerable.
I have a question. Can you do attunement whilst actually taking a short rest?
Yes, it's counted as that.
Mm-hmm.
Dion, use the belt. You don't need the headband.
I
That's
thought
gonna
I
plug
couldn't
himself
use the
in.
belt.
You can use the belt. It'll make you stronger.
I thought my dex was too low.
What?
No. You can't. You couldn't use the belt because you had all your attunement slots used.
But even if I didn't, I thought James said my dex was just too low.
No, that was the armor, I think. Yeah, you wouldn't have got benefit
I thought
from...
it was the belt, sorry.
No,
Was
no, it wasn't the belt. The belt just increases your strength, I believe. It was a belt of fire giant strength,
Yes.
I think, with some added benefits. Did you note those down?
Yes. I think I put them down.
Well, quickly update your sheet. As you all, so is that what you're doing? You're all sort of plugging yourself in to the ooze matrix, yeah?
Yeah, why not?
Yep.
Excellent. Good. Thank you. At last. It only took 2 hours and 20 minutes. In fairness, you fought a mind flayer lich. You.
It just gives me strength.
It gives you 24 strength, I believe.
Cheers.
Yeah. And resistance or immunity to fire? I can't remember which. You can. I think it's resistance. I'll look it up. But either way, the strength is the important thing right now, unless you want to set yourself on fire. You all arrive. I'm going to just take a very quick water break, and we'll be right back after this brief interlude in which TR is going to sing us a song.
I know a song that get on, you know.
No.
I meant
it's fine.
I meant
baby shark da 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 da.
Even worse. I
meant Bowie's.
Mommy shark.
I meant Bowie's Life on Mars.
Mommy shark da 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 da.
Go.
Mommy shark da 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 da.
Go
Mommy
get
shark da da da.
Okay.
Mommy shark.
No more sharks.
Da shark shark shark.
I will turn into a shark and bite Glack's head off.
Ain't gonna be no baby shark either.
I can't even wild shape right now again because I'm using my last slot just to do this because I didn't get the short rest.
But does it count if you're inside?
I thought you got it
No,
as well.
everyone got it but me because my timing is different.
No. You use the wild shape inside of a simulation. You did not change outside.
Yeah.
So does it count?
I don't know. I don't know how this is going to affect us once I get out.
Ask James when they get back.
Once we get out, so we kind of have to assume that it's still having some effects on us or whatever. But yes, why the?
All right.
Oh,
so you all arrive. Yeah, I was grabbing some water. So you all arrive at the edge of this. Dion, you recognize it absolutely as some sort of war camp.
All right.
Just remind me, where are you all from? I think Pizzazz and Tink were both from Faerun. Is that correct, Ben? Ben? Ben's gone. Who here is from mainland Alterra?
I
I
am.
think Glack actually knows where he's from.
Which region?
Oh, I don't know the regions.
Okay, well, I tell you what. Why don't you roll me a
But it would be
roll me a
a more
history check?
foresty type region.
Excellent. Roll me a history check, please. Okay, 13 is okay. You can't be certain of who these people are exactly. You know that there are a lot of war bands and things like that rove through Alterra. Mostly the main couple of continents. The landscape, it escapes you. You reckon you're to the north. You can make out a few miles away there are forested areas. A few miles in another direction, you see the small villages. Yeah, it's probably towards the north of that world. Maybe Luminor. But you can't be sure who these people are, where exactly, because Luminor's a region, a continent, basically, or is the size of Europe, pretty much. As you look around, you see a familiar eagle sort of flying overhead. But yeah, people are getting up. There is definitely an attitude of like a fighting spirit to what is going on here.
You hear my internal monologue going, "What the hell's going on here?"
Oh yes, yes. The static is gone. You can make out your allies have come in to assist you.
Huh?
What's going on, Lan?
Oh. Yes. This is weird. I think it's reset.
What's reset?
The history that's going to go on in this land. Because just a little moment ago before you came in, I had Bragg a younger version of Bragg accusing me of murdering someone and had to fly away, and suddenly it was day again, and Bragg's here in this tent below me with women.
Is one of the women the one
Men,
that died?
men and women. Men and women.
Men and women.
Did you kill somebody?
No. I
Okay.
tried to use Spare the Dying. Did nothing. I don't know if it was I was too late or...
Yes, you know it was too late. There was no life force for you to latch onto.
Mm.
It wasn't that your magic didn't work. It was that there was no life force, no soul to latch onto.
But I also heard crying of the Bragg that we know, but from kind of all around us. And basically they get a rundown of what happened
Okay, yeah.
earlier.
Yeah, you explain what happened. And that's my story, says Lan.
Yeah. Continue to fly.
As at this point, coming out of the tent, bare-chested but wearing like lounge pants, sort of tied around the rope, tied around the middle by like a short bit of rope, is young-looking Bragg. Not the incredibly hench half-orc that you know. Still growing into himself, but you know, still sort of lithe, still kind of strong-looking. Fairly handsome, but more like a child than an adult, really, in terms of physique. But he wears it well. At this point, he is about 5.5 foot tall, and as I mentioned earlier, he's still just got a little bit of peach fuzz on his chin. Having traveled with him for so long, the rest of you, yeah, you reckon this is Bragg, but younger by a couple of years at least.
Would we have known that Bragg's mum was killed prior to this?
Or does Lan just think it's
Everyone-
a random person?
Everyone roll a history check, I would say, because he doesn't like to talk about it, really. I'll say Glack, you can make it with advantage, because let's be honest, you drink water out of his secret place.
Yeah. Okay. That.
Phrasing?
You drink water out of his secret water cooler. There we go.
Yeah, but without him knowing is the point.
Yeah. So
Like
it
they've
would
never
make
met.
Yeah, I know. It would make sense that you've scouted for his diaries. But yeah, Lanwar and Okay, Pizzazz, you remember a story your sister told you about how there was a slad in a place called Madgoth's Castle. You have no idea where it is, but there was like a pain slad that seemed to latch onto Bragg's fears and worst nightmares. And he explained to Tink previously about how he'd lost his mother. She'd been assassinated.
Mhm.
That's what you get from that. Lanwar, you having already lived it once as well, you reckon that this must be, and with Pizzazz sort of filling in your secondhand knowledge, you reckon this must be the place, the location where that happens. And having looked around, it was on the eve after a battle, and now you're back seemingly before a battle. You reckon you have looked, and that she's probably going to die again today, and Bragg seems to be reliving it.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of you at this realize that since he's been gone for a couple months, he's probably been reliving this
Terrible loop over and over.
loop over and over, yeah. In the ooze.
Pizzazz will ask Glack what his perception of time has been.
You have the keen mind feat.
I do not.
Then you don't know.
Also,
not
I came
Glack,
in here at the same time
yeah.
as you.
Not
So
Glack,
it's been about
Lanwar.
5 minutes.
I've not. Would I know how long I'd roughly felt like I'd been here?
About 20 or 30 minutes, maybe. Then the loop occurred. It was night. Now it is morning. You reckon between 12 and 18 hours earlier.
Alright, so there's a bit of time dilation.
Why?
Because we were outside for more than an hour.
You left me in here for an hour?
Yeah, we found something to eat, and Glack did a bit of drawing.
What do you mean drawing?
Did
A
a nice
sketch.
picture. He drew you.
Like his French girls.
Over in the distance somewhere, you hear a loud someone hammering on a loud bong.
It's not what I thought.
So you're aware. It looks like it's waking the camp up.
The camp mostly ignored me, but I don't know what will happen if they see a bunch of strangers.
We shall be very stealthy.
Yeah, I've not got any disguising magic.
Pass without trace, no?
I have disguise kits.
I can't pass without a trace. You whilst I'm an eagle.
Do you have any blue paint? Are most of the half-orcs here or orcs here like the sort of teal blue?
There's a mixture actually. There's Goliaths, there are half-orcs, there are actual orcs, there are some very grizzled looking elves. There's even one or two halflings that you can see. A couple of dwarves. Yeah. All sorts really. There's a couple of dragonborn as well. Possibly you could squeeze your way through as a small dragonborn, or a child maybe. There are a couple of children.
Quick, undo the mind flayers thing.
It doesn't look like we would stick out too much. Land, you might. I can't see any furbolgs.
Well, you can see I'm flying right now.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they start shooting at me, I will stay up in the air. And I'll stay up there observing from...
Did you see who attacked his mum?
I only seen the aftermath. I didn't see the attack. So, short of us waiting for this loop to take its course,
Which we don't know how long it will take.
Mm.
or trying to prevent the loop.
I think you said it was like a game, so surely in this game, save the mum.
Yes, but I don't know what she does, what she's done all day, but I know she died up here, and you see me sort of float around the top tent, the big tent.
That is a tent fit for a king or queen or some sort of noble.
Rightly.
Definitely a chieftain in this sort of band.
She died in here.
Hmm.
So unless we keep an eye on here all day, I don't know what we can do this time round.
I mean, if you can give me a description, I could try and stealth in and see if I can see her in there.
Does that say? Wait, this tent.
What was that?
Does that also point to like the big tent and say this one?
Yes.
As he does that, his finger glows.
Okay.
Here comes ET.
All right. Okay. Yeah. What is your intent here?
Burn the tent.
Yeah. Very quickly. There are a couple of people running to and fro with like, oh shit. The her tent's on fire. Everyone, bring buckets and water. You do see around about they are beginning to grab buckets and head towards where the water for the horses is being kept.
Mm-hmm.
No one appears to have magic here. Very quickly, a rather beautiful elf woman runs out of the tent and begins shouting at her nearest guards. I say, who the bloody hell is supposed to be on guard here? Because you're doing your fucking jobs wrong. I'm going to make sure you're both flogged. Guards, take these two imbeciles away. And very quickly, a couple of guards, bring her guards, away.
Pizzazz will look to Dion and say, there you go get her.
Young Bragg runs up and says, Mother, who set your tent on fire? I don't know, dear, but once I've found out, they'll be flayed. Now, are you ready for the fight today? You're looking a bit peaky. Mother, I'm fine. Very well. You weren't up too late last night, were you? Oh, Mother, you know me. Yes, I do. Everything's going to be fine today. I've got a good feeling about today, Mother. You've led us into battle more times than I can count. And we've always come through it. Still, every battle carries a risk, Bragg. Always remember that. Yes, Mother. Every battle. You should only go into a battle if you're assured of victory. Yes, Mother, I know. Good lad. Now run along, prepare yourself. Someone bring me that bloody water! She begins sort of storming off. What do you wish to do? The tent is beginning to smolder. Actually, 21 points of fire damage. It's quickly about to go up.
Yeah, Pizzazz will look to Dion and say, there she is. Go get her. If we can kidnap her and prevent her from dying.
Super strong now. Hench Dion.
Yeah, that I'm going to stealthily go after her.
Okay. Roll me a... Are you proficient in sleight of hand?
No, I'm not proficient.
Okay. A charisma check, please. Because this is social stealth rather than keeping in the shadows.
Oh, okay.
It's trying to act like you're belonging. Hey! Yeah, you managed to sort of make it up to her just as she turns to see you and says, You, soldier! Glad to see you're dressed. Why aren't you putting out my fire?
It's like, I've just got here.
Well, get somewhere else. Prepare yourselves. Today we fight the northern tribes.
Over the headset, Pizzazz will say, tell her that someone attacked her tent and you need to take it to safety.
I seen somebody attack your tent. Oh, the big tent up the top there. And I think I should do my job and get you to safety.
No, bring me to
Just-
them now. Or bring them to me. Who was it? Describe them. I know everyone in this camp.
I saw them from a distance, so I didn't get a clear look, but
Roll a deception check.
okay.
High roll, come on.
Her eyes narrow at you. What did you say your name was, soldier?
I didn't,
Ma'am. What squadron were you in?
Second.
404.
You were just transferred.
I'm just trying to keep you safe.
I'm guessing a 30 hits you.
Less than a 30.
She's got plus 12. A 30 hits you, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
She dives on you.
She dies on me.
She
Dive.
dives.
Alright.
She dives on top of you as you fall prone, and she very quickly needs you to roll me a contested grapple check. So athletics or acrobatics, please.
Use those new strong muscles.
She's got plus 11, so 26. Is
Gee,
your
she's
DC.
strong.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not enough. She very quickly grabs your hands, face plants you into the dirt, grinds your face in the gravel there, and quickly ties your hands behind your back and says, "There's a traitor in our midst. Everyone,
I'm gonna dive
ready
bomb.
the pyre." Okay.
I'm dive bombing and grabbing her.
All right. Roll an attack. Grapple check.
Okay. Is it strength?
It'd be your athletics now, I think.
Alright,
Chance to succeed here. So an 18 is the DC.
Is this the strength of?
This is to grapple her, yeah.
Alright.
Strength of the bird.
What the?
No. Yeah, that's a 7. That's a 7. So no. Yeah, you dive at her.
Too
She
fast.
spots you coming, and she backhands you away and says, "We're under attack. Garner the weapons. Gather your steel. Fight. Seems we'll have more than just a war today." Before we roll initiative, Pizzazz, anything you want to accomplish?
Seeing everything just start going tits up.
Set fire to the tent a bit more.
No, I was going to set fire to her.
You're going to attack her?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, roll an attack.
20 to hit.
Okay. Yeah, as you shoot into at fire, you watch as her flesh seems to singe, and the entire moment seems to freeze and warp slightly, and you all hear inside your head what is this? I don't remember this. Pizzazz. And then it's like a computer screen freezing.
Can we hear Bragg?
Yeah, you all hear this. It's like a computer screen freezing. And then before you can even think, the sun is rising and it's a beautiful day. And all around there is the smell of war prep going on. You hear the sounds of horses being readied, weapons being sharpened. And Lanwar, as you look around, this looks incredibly familiar to you. You hear off in the distance aha, ladies, please, there's enough of me to go around.
This is the reset.
Mm-hmm. I just rolled an intelligence check just to see if I could, figure how to win, essentially. Like changing the memory, because that changing the memory there causes it to reset.
Yeah, it seems like, so with a 20 DC, you get the following information, because I've got DCs written up here. So with a 20, you get that each time you change something significantly from the original timeline, the original sort of events of the timeline, the day seems to reset. What else would you get? Why have I not got more information here about the DC 15? Yes, the day seems to reset if it takes a veering angle away from established events, or if you become sort of too known, too entangled in the affairs of what's going on. You also note that the day seems to go exactly as it did before.
Would I also have been able to garner if I were to change or if we were managed to change the memory to a point that Bragg would wake up rather than reset?
I would say this would be a wisdom check instead of intelligence. This is more about emotional capacity, I would say. Have you got proficiency in insight?
Insight, no.
Yeah, but Pizzazz was. I tell you what, you can roll as well then, Bob. Since you've looked once, we'll say that you can also roll.
So an insight check.
Just an insight check, yeah. Okay, yeah, the DC was 20. Again, so you with Pizzazz's sort of reckoning of the logistical situations, you reckon, and since you've only looked once, you're not entirely certain, but maybe if you were to help Bragg, as this seems to be his memory of that day, and changing it significantly caused him to react and become aware of what was happening. You reckon that maybe helping him might be the way to go, either in accepting it or possibly some other way. You don't have enough loops though to know for certain.
Zaz points his finger at the tent where he heard Bragg and cast Firebolt again.
Over in the distance, by the way, you hear bong as the gong rings.
You get a slight word from Landwar possess. What is it with you setting things on fire?
We need to change the memory.
You're 150 feet away. Each square is 10 feet.
I've actually got Spell Sniper, so that's actually 240.
Aha, excellent.
I should just change all those. But that'll take a bit of time.
There we go. That should have worked. Let me just check. Perfect. Yeah. So from where you are, just sort of hidden by the gate, by where the horses are stabled, you sort of poke your head round and fire. And very quickly you hear a, "Oh my goodness! Run, girls, run!" And Bragg, wearing very, very few clothes, in fact, not even wearing the lounge pants this time, but sort of dragging a blanket out behind him, along with a woman with purplish skin, a dragonborn, a bronze dragonborn, an incredibly handsome androgynous person, and an androgynous dryad as well. And they all sort of shelter nearby. Bragg looking clueless and not knowing what the hell is going on.
At this point, Pizzazz is going to jump on his broom, fly above the circular bit here, and
that is the fire pit.
Okay, and just scream, "I am the Lord of Hellfire," and just start fire bolting all the tents.
That very quickly sort of initiates another loop.
Cool.
I want to be watching as I'm gonna roll perception as he's doing this because I want to see what happens.
And as he's doing it, he's going to be possessed screaming, "Bragg, you're trapped in a memory. Wake up!"
I don't know this creature. He takes out a throwing axe and chucks it at you.
Pizzazz will look down to Bragg the younger and say, "I'm not talking to you.
You just said my name.
I'm talking to you in the future.
That makes no sense.
You make no sense."
You hear off from the northern tent, "Destroy that magic user. Bring me their head." You look around and you see Bragg's mother, looking fierce. That's a high perception check.
Come and have a go, and if you think you're hard enough.
That's a high perception check. Now roll me an insight check.
Okay.
So you manage to look around and see people gathering, just to see if you. So you've noticed a couple of people not gathering. Oh shit! Yeah. So
that is my wheelhouse. Perception.
Yeah. Perception and insight. Okay, and this will be the sort of last thing I think. As you look around, and the image sort of freezes, and you Pizzazz, you hear in your head once more, "What's Pizzazz?
Bragg!
What's
Bragg? You need to
Pizzazz?
Wake up. Yes, it's Pizzazz. Wake up! You're trapped in a memory."
What do you mean? What's on? Lanwar, the last sort of thing before the image sort of stills and freezes and, breaks apart. You notice that the two very, very attractive women who Bragg was with, not the Bronze Dragonborn or the Dryad, are sort of looking up in quite grim sort of distaste at the flying gnome, especially the sort of shorter, much paler looking one. So there's a slightly darker skinned one who looks to be like half drow, maybe you reckon, and there's a much paler one with reddish brown hair, who is especially looking up at Pizzazz with, anger in their eyes. Like, how dare they do this? That's what you get with your 28 insight. Everyone else seems either afraid or clueless. Young Bragg certainly seems to be clueless. Afraid, clueless, angry, about to attack. And as axes and javelins begin to get thrown in Pizzazz's direction, suddenly there's a zoop, and you all sort of open your eyes and you're looking once more at a now familiar sight. This tent, the smell of cooking meat and horses whinnying nearby begins to fill your nostrils and your eyes once more.
Glack runs to the right straight away to stop the bell.
Except something's wrong. It's like there's smoke in the air where before there was no smoke. It's like everything is slightly tinged,
Obscured?
as if you're looking at an overexposed photograph, or a tint on like a television screen. It's slightly darker, slightly more reddish, more. It's difficult to describe. Glack, you run up the hill towards the gong.
Yep.
The guy is getting ready to ring it. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
I grab the gong hammer. I'm not sure what it's called. From him.
Roll an athletics check.
Okay. Oh, that.
He's got a plus. He'd have a plus 10 as well. Oh, so he rolls a 29. You just managed to scrape it away from his clutching fingernails. Actually, you're sort of yanking it, and he's pulling on it as hard as he can. And as you yerk it away, he sort of goes falling backwards, and his head hits slightly off the bell.
No,
and you
that's
face
fine.
palm.
That's the plan. I'm going to start hitting the bell fervently, and I'm going to use my word of spirit to shout out that the North tribes are attacking us. Everybody to the main tent to protect it.
Oh my god! So you've taken on through your visage. So you activate your tracksuit that looks like older Bragg slightly, and you begin banging. And suddenly, yes, the camp is in uproar, and people come running out. And does your word of the spirit? So you speak through your visage.
Yeah. So everybody within whole creatures within 600 feet can hear me.
So everyone in the camp, does it sound vaguely like Bragg?
Yeah, I can give it a shot. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, because I was just wondering, because it's speaking through the visage. I was just wondering if it was like slightly older, more battle-hardened, mature sort of Bragg calling.
It's a weird amalgamation between both of them.
Yeah. Tell you what, roll me... I like this. Roll me a performance check. I'll give you advantage.
Good,
it's just as your voice is starting to break.
Yeah. Oh, that's so sad.
Oh.
I mean, you still achieve what was coming out. People are running out. They don't seem to notice the smoke. They seem to be moving as if nothing has changed. Everyone is making the same sort of facial expressions as they did before, but it's more like, oh, the northern tribes are attacking? All right, let's get ready. There's a bit of urgency in the air more than anything else.
I'm gonna.
With that 21, would I be able to figure out that the smoke is lingering from the last loop?
It doesn't seem to be smoke lingering from the last loop with that intelligence check. It seems to be, you know, where you're hungover or perhaps ill with like a fever, and when you look all around you, it's like your sinuses and stuff are pressing in on you, and it's like the edges of your vision are slightly darkened. It's more like that. It's like the edges of the vision itself are becoming slightly blackened.
Can I communicate to Pizzazz about the two figures as well? Because I think if at the start of the loop I would have been that's urgent information.
Yeah, you do so. And as young Bragg and his we'll just call them his entourage run out, his gaggle run out of his tent. Everyone is looking frantically around. And as that's actually not different enough to trigger a response, because the fight is still on. Does anyone wish to do anything very quickly before we end for the day?
No.
Pizzazz, jump on. I'm gonna get ready to natch up that way with Pizzazz. Or
Pizzazz will also say, should we try like forcing the loop again to try break it? Managed to kind of talk to Bragg last time.
We either break the loop or break them.
Break them, that'll break the loop. Or that'll start the loop again.
Plus, that might change Bragg completely.
I don't think it'll change them. I don't think we're in the past. We're just re-watching this memory.
Yes, but those two seem to be mad at you. There's something outside the loop.
Someone else is in here as well.
And with those ominous words, and the realization that perhaps you're not the only creatures in viewing Bragg's memory of the worst day of his life, that's where we're going to end for the night and pick up next week. Ooh, thank you all very much for playing, guys. Thank you all at home very much for watching. And until next week, always remember, mind flayers may be difficult foes to face. But you'd sure as hell rather face one of those than a mind flayer lich. I've been James Robertson. These guys have been wonderful players. Thank you all very much. Remember to wash your hands, and good night. Bye.
Wear a mask.
Cheers.
Bye.
Eat the rich.